Just a year ago it seemed Love India was on path to be an essential motor of increase for the world economics. It was the fastest increasing economics in the planet in 2016, superior though China, that had been testifying a slowing. India was vaunted as a vivid place in an indifferently grim world economics. But the story modified in 2017 as India's economics rotated slow. Among January and December 2016, it grew by more than rather than 7% in each block compared to the identical time the early year. For one block it though affected 7.9%. But in one block, April-June 2017, it bring down to 5.7%, its minimum increase in 3 years. Two main decisions on economical politics had a harsh effect on 2017. At first was the flash cancel of almost 86% of the cash money in circulating in November 2016, the impact lasted before 2017. But 2017 didn't give just bad news story for Mr. Modi's Bharatiya Janata side led by the government, that swept to force in 2014. Down there were several main artistic achievements as so, consisting India's 30-spot leap to exceed the top 100 countries in the planet banking's easy of making industry code. Later the World Letter of Credit Ranking Agent Sullins modernized India's independent letter of credit ranking for the at first period with 2004. India's stockpile markets were amongst the planet's top performance, they grew by more than rather than 30% year on year. But it was a hard year and down there are yet lot challenges how Mr. Modi many faces in 2018. Accelerator economical increase will be the fed by the government's major purpose in 2018. Time largest analysts weight the restoration to be sluggish, down there is as well a unanimity how it will be a superior year rather than 2017. Down there will be restoration since the jolt due to the cash money ban, same Hindu rupiah ban in 2016 and the GST will natural wither, says Sajid Chinoy, head Asia political economist at JP Morgan. To streamline the realization of the GST, the government's announced few changes in the recent few months. It as well fixed GST rates for 178 consumer goods and services following it was criticized for compliance tariff top. 2017 was a year of transfer for the economics in GST upcoming in. These foundations were required for a more than stable increase above the following few year, says Madan Sabnavis, head political economist at Thoroughness Ratings, an Hindu ratings agent. The World Cash Foundation estimates how India's economics will increase by 7.4% in the following finance year, April 2018 to March 2017. It had overpegged the increase bet at 7.7%. Although economical increase prospects following year are looking brighter, the largest barrier for by the government has been job create. India is the planet's other largest densely populated nation and it is necessary to build 12 millionth jobs each year to consume its youthful labor. But little business community were yet winding of the rupiah ban in November 2016 while they were once again hit difficult by the evacuation of GST. Lot of them closed downward, guideline to millions of human beings, particularly in the unorganized segment, loser jobs. Farming, building and little company are the largest patronage in India since they are labor-intensive business community. But all three sectors include been fighting to produce jobs in latter year. Job create is a visible red mark on Mr. Modi's economical path recording. Time largest expert accept how the is a length-term issue for the economics, they wait by the government to get stairs in 2018 in an eye on the parliament elections planned for 2019. We can wait by the government to ensure several pulse to little business community and sectors love farming and building how will conduct to several occupation general, says Mr. Chinoy. Growing wet prices and low levels of individual invest are some big challenges, on to Mayush Joshi, defect president of Angelic Intermediation, a Mumbai-based mediation company. He says how growing wet prices will influence by the government finance and as well conduct to high bloating, that has sequentially remained by the center banking's goal, 4%, above the recent year. India imports more than rather than 70% of its oil to encounter national consumer demand. In world wheat prices departure up, the government has two options: it can each growth retailer prices or pay the distinction. In elections fair above a year off, the government might be unwilling to undergo on the complete cost growth to consumer. It will be an unloved go, says Mr. Sabnavis. More than rather than part of India's people relies on farming for revenue. Millions of farmers include not been capable to pay behind loans guideline to more than stress. Several state, such as Uttar Pradesh in the polar and Maharashtra in the western, include announced lending refusal schemes for farmers, but down there include been issues associated to realization. Down there's not lot the Modi by the government can very do, since farming is a country object and it is necessary to be aimed by the relevant country governments, but it does build a perceptual issue for the fed by the government, says Mr. Sabnavis. 8 Hindu state will be keeping regional elections in 2018, out of that 4 persons include a enormous village people. The Bharatiya Janata side is in force in 3 of such state, and so expert trust how if the BJP-led fed by the government does not solve the agriculture meltdown, later it could wound their chances at the voting. With upcoming to force, Mr. Modi is credited for performing crucial economical reforms. But in economical increase slide in 2017 and Hindu elections due in 2019, human beings wait him to be careful in the year front and manage precise of main reforms. Same by the government as necessary to unite all the reforms how include been driven in above the recent 40 months. It is necessary to do certainly how they are executed correctly. Down there is no requirement for future reforms, says Mr. Joshi. The government is anticipated to growth cost on public well-being schemes concentrated on village India. For Mr. Modi, 2018 will be a crucial year. His by the government's processing of the economics will surely affect his election prospects in 2019.